Good day, mate, and welcome back to Australian Dark Stories. If this is your first time here, get comfy, switch off the lights, pop in your headphones, because tonight I've got a story for you that I'll stick in your mind long after it's over. I know life out there can be rough, and sometimes all we want is to take a break from the daily grind. But here, in this corner of the internet, we escape in a darker way, by diving into true, chilling stories that'll make your skin crawl. What you're about to hear isn't just a campfire tale, and it's not just some made-up yarn to spook the kids. It's a story stitched together from official reports, forgotten diaries, and first-hand testimonies that the authorities would rather you never heard. And I invite you, listen to this story as if it is being whispered directly to you. Feel every detail, every sound, every breath of wind in the desert, as if you're walking right there beside me in the vast Australian outback. Tonight, we'll explore one of the darkest legends hidden in this land, the Lost House, a place that seems alive, appearing and disappearing in the desert, leaving only terror in its wake. But before we begin, I want to thank you for being here. Because of you, I can keep sharing these eerie stories that many would prefer to bury. And when we're done, let me know in the comments. Would you dare to spend a single night inside the Lost House? All right then. Lights off, deep breath. Let's begin. It was 1987 when Thomas Ellery, a young photographer, decided to head into the outback in search of unique landscapes. He'd first heard about the Lost House from a truckie over a beer in a dusty roadhouse. "Don't go near it, mate," the man warned, his eyes sharp with fear. "That house eats people alive." But Thomas wasn't one for superstitions. Armed with his camera, a notebook, and enough supplies for 2 days, he trekked into the heart of the desert. Hours passed under the blazing sun before he saw it, a grey wooden house, standing alone in the middle of nowhere, as if it had grown straight out of the sand. There were no tracks leading to it, no reason for it to exist. The closer he came, the heavier the air felt. The windows looked like hollow eyes, staring back at him. The wood groaned, though the wind was still. A chill crawled down his spine, out of place under the scorching sun. Inside, the air was thick with mold and iron, the scent of something rotting long ago. Deep scratches marked the floorboards, as if someone had been dragged, fighting against their fate. And carved into the wall of the main room, uneven and desperate, were the words, "She never sleeps." Thomas tried to take photos, but every single one came out blurred, warped, like something unseen was standing between him and the lens. That night he camped inside the house, stubborn in his disbelief. But at 3 a.m. he woke to a sound, heavy footsteps in the hallway, though he knew he was alone. Thomas told himself it was the wind, but the steps didn't stop. They grew closer, louder, until suddenly, silence. A silence so deep it swallowed even the sound of his own breathing. Then every door in the house slammed shut at once, the noise rattling the walls. He sprinted to the front door. It wouldn't budge. The entire house seemed to pulse, like it was breathing, tightening around him. And then he heard it. A whisper, soft and childlike, from just behind him. "Did you come to stay with me?" Slowly, Thomas turned. At the end of the hallway stood a little girl in a white dress, her eyes glowing blue, like embers burning in the dark. He blinked, and she was gone. But the sound of laughter lingered, bouncing through the rooms. That night, Thomas didn't sleep. He wrote in his diary instead, "The house feels alive. I'm not alone here. Something is watching every move I make. I don't know if I'll ever see daylight again." The next day, flicking through his photos, he realized something. Each shot was the same, an empty room, except for one detail. In the fractured reflection of a broken mirror, the girl was always there. Thomas's case wasn't the first. Records showed other vanishings in the region. In 1974, a family of 4 was found dead in the house. The official report said dehydration, but their bodies were laid out in a ritual pattern, strange symbols scrawled around them. In 1981, 2 German backpackers vanished. All that remained was a diary stuffed into one of their packs. The last entry, scratched in shaky handwriting, read, "Don't look into her eyes." Locals swear the house doesn't stay put. Some say it moves, appearing in different parts of the outback, hunting, as if it's not a house at all, but something far older, wearing the shape of one. Months later, Thomas's diary was found buried in the sand, kilometers from the site. His body was never recovered. The final pages of his writing were near illegible, words shaking across the paper. "She spoke my name. How does she know me? The walls are breathing. Every door leads back to the same place. The clock has stopped. I'm trapped outside of time. She's standing beside me now. I won't escape." The recovered photos were worse. Frame by frame, the girl appeared closer, until the last photo was nothing but her face filling the lens. Her blue, burning eyes staring straight at whoever dared to look. This is the story of Thomas Ellery and the lost house of the Australian desert. A house that may still be out there, waiting for its next visitor. Or worse, it might have already moved on, closer than you'd ever want it to be. Some whisper that just speaking about the house is enough to catch its attention. If that's true, then maybe, just maybe, it already knows you've heard this story until the very end. If you're still here, drop a like, subscribe to Australian Dark Stories, and let me know in the comments. Would you step inside the lost house? And remember, the darkness is never as far away as we'd like to think.